let's say you went to a website and it asks for your name, it asks for your email ID, it asks for your password, right? And then you click on sign up. So when you click on sign up, where all this information which you are passing to the website, where does it get stored, right? That is a question which naturally occurs. Is it getting stored in your mobile, or is it getting stored in your browser or in your server? Not exactly. So the information which you are passing is getting stored in a database. All the information which you pass is stored in a database. So now the question is, if all the information which you are passing is getting stored in a database, then why do we need server? As we already discussed, that server receives our request. So if the server is receiving all our request, then why do we even need a database? Can't I store my all the data in my server itself? So that is a question which we will look upon now. So as my server will have a CPU and a RAM, right? So I think it's pretty clear to that RAM is a temporary memory, right? RAM is a temporary memory. So whenever my server will be restarted, my temporary memory will be reset and all my data stored in my RAM will be gone. So that's why we need a place where we can store all the data permanently so that I can access it anytime if my server restarts or my database also even restarts. So my data loss doesn't happen. So that's why I need a server database to store the information. Now that is clear. And if the server now restarts, then also my data persist. My data is not persist in case of server. If server resets and I just use the server to store my data in its RAM, then my data will be lost. So what exactly is a database? So database is just a software which stores your data in an organized manner so that it can be saved and retrieved easily. So in textbook definition, we can say that a database is a collection of rows and tables. So what are rows, what are tables, we will discuss later. But it's just a software which stores your data in an organized manner so that it can be retrieved effectively. Okay. So let's say you open the Instagram application. Okay. So whenever you open the Instagram application, it asks you for the username and password, right? And what happens when you give that username and password? So it asks for your username, it asks for your password, right? It gives that to a server. So server then eventually gives it to a database. So now the server asks the database that does this username and password exist in our database? Do you have any records of this in your user table? So if the database replies yes, if it says yes we have this, then your server will send the request to your phone that is the user exists and we can log into the user, else we will say that the user doesn't exist or the password is wrong, whatever the validation is there. So what kind of things are stored in the database? So if there is a database, databases will have tables or collections, depends. But let's say database will store your user information, right? It will store which users can access your data. It will store all your passwords. It will store all your, if there is a ordering billing app, then it will store all your orders, all your messages, all your photos or reference to the photos, comments, any comments. So more or less, the database just store data. It doesn't store the UI. It doesn't store the logic, business logic or application logic. It's just pure data. So let's look at an example. So if there is a library, right, and there is a librarian, so you go to the librarian, uh, anyone can go to the librarian and ask that where is the this book, right? So I can ask, where is my book? Librarian will say that it is in the bookshelf, right? So what is inferring from here is that the bookshelf has the data, right? Here I can find my book in the bookshelf. So it's my database. Bookshelf is my database, and librarian passes my request to the bookshelf. So it is a server. We can say it is a server, and book is the request. This book is needed by the user. Okay. So librarian doesn't need to memorize every book. Where is it? We have it or not. It just goes to the shelf, gets it, and return it to the user. And that's what server does. So now someone can argue that why do we even need this database or this application or the server, whatever? We can just use Excel, right? Excel is a very powerful tool. It also has rows and columns. You can store any data in it, and I can access the Excel very easily. It's very easy to use. So the real reason is that your databases are built in such a manner that it can store millions of records, billions and millions of data, right? And the data which is stored in those databases, it can search very fast across that data. There is very fast searching, and thousands of users can simultaneously access these databases, right? Accessing the Excel simultaneously is very difficult for a lot of users, and security is very high. Security is very critical in the database, right? I don't want that any unauthorized person access all my data, so then my users will be very unhappy with me, as it contains sensitive private information. So security is very important. Excel is not that kind of secure. So now the question is database is databases are on the same server. This one is database is on the same server as a server, right? So the server runs your application, right? As we know. My other question is is a database the same as a server? So server runs the application as we know, and database stores your data, right? Database stores data. So in most of the cases, your DB runs on a different machine. This will have a different machine, and your server will run on a different machine, right? We make them separate so that if my server goes down, my database is alive and my different servers can access these. So now, as we have learned that our data is stored in a database, and if databases are so good, as they are persistent, they are very highly secure, there is no data breach, lot of users can access them simultaneously, and they can store millions of records. So why isn't everything stored in the database? Why do companies like Amazon, Google, big fan companies, which have critical products, also use something which is known as cache? Why these companies use cache? So that's in the next one. We will discuss this in the next one. Please, guys, if you are till here and if you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.